From chilling cases on naval ship decks to secrets buried deep in the hearts of agents, NCIS has become a television icon for more than 2 decades. But behind the lights and those silent achievements, their real lives took tangled turns no one expected. Back then they were legends, but today, how much has everything changed? Number 1. Mark Harmon as Leroy Jethro Gibbs. There are men who don't need to raise their voices to silence an entire room. And Leroy Jethro Gibbs is exactly that kind of man. In 2003, when NCIS premiered, Mark Harmon stepped into the role of Gibbs at age 52, carrying the calm demeanor of a former Marine, and eyes filled with thousands of untold stories. In the show, Gibbs isn't just the team leader, he is the backbone of the entire team. A cold but principled leader who always puts justice above everything, even personal emotions. From terrorism and espionage cases to internal murders, Gibbs always appears like a silent shadow, investigating with sharp instincts and delivering his legendary head slaps to subordinates when they make mistakes. But deep inside, Gibbs' life is a chain of tragedies, losing his wife and daughter, multiple marriages and divorces, and a haunting past that makes it nearly impossible for him to live a normal life. That inner conflict is what turned Gibbs into an iconic character, both strong and fragile. In real life, Mark Harmon is one of Hollywood's most private stars, avoiding scandals and maintaining a rare, long-lasting marriage with actress Pam Dauber for decades. However, behind the scenes of NCIS was not entirely peaceful, as he was involved in tensions with co-stars, especially the well-known conflict with Pauley Perrette that led to her departure. By 2026, at age 75, Harmon has stepped away from the role that made his name. But the image of Gibbs lives on as a symbol of discipline, loss, and loyalty, a man of the past, now only an irreplaceable memory. Number 2, Michael Weatherly as Anthony Tony DiNozzo. If Gibbs is the darkness, then Tony DiNozzo is the spontaneous light that breaks that heavy atmosphere. In 2003, Michael Weatherly joined NCIS at just 35, bringing a humorous, charming, and slightly reckless personality. Tony isn't the typical agent. He jokes even during murder investigations, teases his teammates, and constantly gives his superiors headaches. But behind that bad boy exterior is an extremely intelligent agent with the ability to read criminals and react quickly to situations. Throughout his journey, Tony goes through major changes, from a carefree joker to a more mature man, especially through his complex relationship with Ziva David, both a partner and a long, unresolved love. Separations, misunderstandings, and sacrifices made Tony's story deeper than any joke he ever made. In real life, Michael Weatherly has faced many ups and downs, including a failed marriage with actress Amelia Heinlau, followed by a sexual harassment scandal on the set of Bull that significantly impacted his career. Even so, he continued working and gradually rebuilt his image. By 2026, at age 58, Weatherly is no longer the bad boy he once was, but Tony DiNozzo still lives in the hearts of fans as a symbol of humor, pain, and growth. Back then, he made people laugh. Today, he makes them remember him with a quiet sadness. Number 3, Cote de Pablo as Ziva David. She entered NCIS like a storm, cold, mysterious, and unpredictable. When she first appeared in 2005, Cote de Pablo was only 26, portraying Ziva David, a Mossad agent with a painful past and deadly combat skills. Unlike anyone on the team, Ziva doesn't trust easily, keeps her distance, and carries scars from family and war. In the show, her journey is a struggle between loyalty and identity, between past and present. From an outsider, Ziva gradually becomes the heart of the team, especially through her intense yet deep relationship with Tony. Her sacrifices, departures, returns, and even being presumed dead created some of the most emotional moments in NCIS. Her psychological complexity and decisive actions made Ziva one of the most memorable female characters on television. In real life, Cote de Pablo is quite private and avoids major scandals, but her decision to leave NCIS at the peak of her career shocked fans, reportedly due to creative differences. She later returned in later seasons as a gift to loyal viewers. By 2026, at age 47, Cote still maintains her unique appeal despite appearing less frequently on screen. Ziva David, a woman who stepped out of the darkness, has now become a beautiful memory, both painful and immortal in the hearts of viewers. Number 4, Pauley Perrette as Abby Sciuto. Not guns, not power. Abby Sciuto dominates the lab with her eccentric smile and fearless heart. When NCIS debuted, Pauley Perrette took on the role at age 34, creating a completely different forensic character. Black hair, dark lipstick, a love for gothic music, and talking to corpses like old friends. In the show, Abby is the most positive spirit of the team, decoding lifeless evidence to bring the truth to light. She was kidnapped, attacked, and even faced death, yet always maintained rare optimism. Her relationships, from her friendship with Gibbs to short-lived romances, are sincere but deeply emotional. As she loves wholeheartedly and suffers deeply, the role stands out because it breaks all stereotypes of a scientist. Quirky, emotional, and highly skilled. In real life, Pauley Perrette had a turbulent journey, including a failed marriage with musician Coyote Shivers and allegations of psychological abuse and control. The biggest shock came from behind the scenes of NCIS when she publicly clashed with Mark Harmon, even hinting at a toxic work environment that led her to leave the show in 2018. By 2026, at age 57, Pauley has largely stepped away from acting, living privately and focusing on social work. The Abby of the past, an irreplaceable eccentric girl, now exists only in memory, like a light that never fades in the cold world of crime. Number 5. Sean Murray as Timothy McGee. Some people don't enter a story with noise, but with steady and persistent growth. And Timothy McGee is the clearest example. When he appeared in NCIS in 2003, Sean Murray was just 26, the youngest on the team, portraying a clumsy tech agent often teased by Tony. But over time, McGee completely transformed, from the IT kid into a seasoned agent, even stepping up as a replacement for Gibbs in critical moments. In the show, McGee's journey isn't about explosive action, but about confronting fear, insecurity, and family pressure, especially his strict father who made him feel he was never good enough. He was kidnapped, shot, and faced near-death experiences that forced him to mature faster than any training could. The role stands out due to the clear character development over the seasons, from weak to strong, from dependent to independent. In real life, Sean Murray has a relatively peaceful life, married to Carrie James with 2 children, though he once drew concern for sudden weight loss that worried fans. While free of major scandals, maintaining the role for many years has still been a significant challenge. By 2026, at age 48, Murray remains with NCIS, becoming one of the longest-standing pillars of the series. The McGee of the past, shy and lost, has become a symbol of perseverance, a man who grew through his own pain. Number 6. David McCallum as Dr. Donald Ducky Mallard. He doesn't need to chase killers, because the truth always finds him through the wounds on the victims' bodies. When joining NCIS in 2003, David McCallum was already 70, bringing the demeanor of a classic gentleman to portray Ducky, a medical examiner known for telling long stories during autopsies. In the show, Ducky isn't just someone who explains death. He preserves memories, often speaking to bodies as if they were still alive. His seemingly off-topic stories often contain crucial clues that help solve cases. Ducky faced many losses, from old friends to the decline of age, yet always maintained calmness and compassion. The role stands out for its intellectual and emotional depth, a character who doesn't need much action to leave a lasting impact. In real life, David McCallum had a decades-long career but also experienced personal changes, including a failed first marriage before finding lasting happiness later. In 2023, he passed away at age 90, leaving a huge void in fans' hearts. By 2026, Ducky no longer appears, but his legacy lives on in NCIS, a man who spent his life listening to stories others could no longer tell. Back then, he was the voice of the departed. Today, he himself has become an unforgettable memory. Number 7. Brian Dietzen as Dr. Jimmy Palmer. At first just a shadow behind Ducky, but Jimmy Palmer became the one who made audiences fall silent the most. When NCIS was still in its early seasons, Brian Dietzen appeared in 2004 at age 27 as a clumsy assistant, often stuttering and caught in awkward situations. But over time, Palmer matured, evolving from someone who only followed instructions into the chief medical examiner after Ducky stepped back. In the show, Jimmy's life is far from easy. He suffers the loss of his wife, Brina, during a pandemic, a shock that turns the once optimistic character into someone quieter and even broken. Scenes of him alone at home, facing loss, are rare moments when NCIS slows down to portray deeply human grief. This transformation gave Palmer emotional depth, no longer just comic relief, but a man carrying real sorrow. In real life, Brian Dietzen has a stable life, married long-term and staying away from scandals, though he has spoken about the pressure of being in a supporting role for so long before gaining recognition. By 2026, at age 49, Dietzen continues with NCIS, becoming an essential part of the series. The Jimmy Palmer of the past, awkward and naive, has become a symbol of growth after loss. A man learning to stand when everything around him collapses. Number 8. Rocky Carroll as Leon Vance. Not as loud as Gibbs, not as humorous as Tony. Leon Vance is the kind of leader who commands caution with just a glance. Rocky Carroll joined NCIS in 2008 at age 45, as Vance replaced the director after a major event, bringing a strict and sometimes ruthless leadership style. In the show, Vance not only runs the agency but also faces difficult moral decisions, sacrificing personal life for the greater good. His life is filled with tragedy. His wife was murdered in an attack connected to his work, leaving lasting psychological scars and making him more withdrawn. Moments where Vance must choose between family and duty add unique depth to his character. The role stands out for its complexity, a man who is both a cold leader and a wounded husband and father. In real life, Rocky Carroll has avoided major scandals, though his career once slowed before NCIS gave him a major boost. He is also one of the few black actors to hold such a powerful role in a long-running series, something not always easy in Hollywood. By 2026, at age 63, Carroll continues appearing in NCIS, maintaining the image of a firm leader. The Leon Vance of the past, strict and distant, is now seen as a man who has paid a heavy price for the power he holds. Number 9. Emily Wickersham as Eleanor Ellie Bishop. She didn't enter NCIS as a warrior, but as an enigma that made everyone question what they believed was certain. When joining in 2013, Emily Wickersham was 29, portraying Ellie Bishop, a quirky NSA analyst who sits crouched on chairs, snacks constantly, and thinks unpredictably. At first, Bishop seemed odd and inexperienced, but as cases progressed, she proved to be one of the sharpest minds on the team. Her journey is a transformation from a bookworm into a true agent willing to infiltrate, fight, and even sacrifice herself, but the cost is her marriage, which collapses due to the pressure and secrecy of her job, leading to divorce and a complete change. Colder, more isolated, and willing to do things she once wouldn't. In later seasons, she dives deep into undercover espionage, accepting misunderstanding to protect missions. The role stands out for its psychological evolution from innocence to sharpness, from safety to danger. In real life, Emily Wickersham also experienced a divorce from musician Blake Hanley before finding new happiness and leaving NCIS in 2021, to fans' regret. By 2026, at age 42, she focuses on family and personal projects. The Ellie Bishop of the past, a quirky and lovable girl, has become a symbol of sacrifice, where intellect and emotion can never fully coexist. Number 10. Wilmer Valderrama as Nick Torres. He appears like an outlaw, carrying a past no one on the team can truly reach. Wilmer Valderrama joined NCIS in 2016 at age 36, portraying Nick Torres, an agent who spent years undercover, living in darkness and trusting no one. In the show, Torres embodies inner conflict between survival instincts and the desire to belong to a real family. He is prone to violence, struggles with control, and is haunted by memories from his undercover past. His relationships are unstable, from his complicated feelings for Bishop to internal conflicts that isolate him. At times, he nearly loses everything due to his inability to control his anger, making him both realistic and dangerous. The role stands out for its rawness and psychological depth, a flawed hero walking the line between right and wrong. In real life, Wilmer Valderrama has had a turbulent love life, dating major stars like Demi Lovato and frequently drawing media attention. While not involved in major legal or addiction scandals, his Hollywood playboy image followed him for years before he settled down and got engaged. By 2026, at age 46, Valderrama continues as Torres, representing the new generation of NCIS. The Nick Torres of the past, a man lost in darkness, is still searching for light, but perhaps he has never truly escaped himself. When the lights go out, these people don't just leave the scene. They leave a part of our memories. NCIS is not just about cases, but about lives that collided, broke apart, and kept going both on screen and in real life.